I don't know about that.
Oh, come on.
Yo, pressurized moments, people get tight, man.
He ain't going
did you see the
15
first
or something?
Did you see the first half?
Yeah, of course.
He was not on top of his game at all.
No doubt.
That's
what I'm saying. You can't keep giving him open looks. So in the fourth quarter, late,
he didn't get
wide
open looks.
In the fourth quarter,
he did. What are you talking about?
In the fourth quarter, when he hitting the shots, he got open
Max,
looks.
Did you see the three he made in the corner was over JaWill Embiid?
Yes,
that was not an open look at all. The second three he made was a step back against Tyrese Maxey. It was not an open look. The third three they made in a row was off a pick and roll with Marcus Smart. What are you talking about?
I'm glad you know me new by now.
There's no open looks.
No, it's not true.
Tough-ass shots.
He hit tough shots, and he had wide open looks.
Man, No, Key, I'm going to lose my damn mind. Run the plays of Jason Tatum's threes he made. That's over a 7-footer.
Yeah, but he had space, Jay.
We talking about space. What space is this? That's a step back three over Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey, not his size. Those are all good looks.
I am glad.
I shouldn't say open
y'all
looks.
about
Good
to have me
looks.
jump in the damn East River.
I am glad it's the off season.
Oh my God!
I'm glad it's the off season for me. It is basketball season, Jay.
Key.
Come on, man.
What do you mean open looks?
Maxey and Embiid had to try to. Maxey had to try to recover. Embiid was kind of lunging at him to put a face
you have open looks at the free throw line.
I'm not Jason Tatum. That's got nothing to do with anything.
But that's what I'm saying. This dude, you're doing things off the bounce when you've been horrific the whole game. The dude hadn't made a shot, and until his last shot he made was the second quarter, Max.
Yep.
He didn't make a shot the entire third quarter.
That's my point.
And then he makes tough threes down the stretch.
That's my point. If you get Jason Tatum, when he says humbly, I'm one of the best players in the world, if he shoots it, he's not going 0 for 15. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Eventually, those shots are going to start to fall. I don't know what the argument is.
The argument is, from somebody who's made a lot of tough shots in his life, for you to call those shots open, that's blasphemy.
Right. Oh, they're not open, but they're good looks. They're both good looks that we just showed.
Yes, there are good looks that have been created after a whole game of having good looks created that didn't go down. So the level of confidence it takes to persevere through that in those game moments where people are saying you have not showed up to the playoffs yet.
Could have gone
Could
have gone very differently.
Yes.
Could have gone very differently. But
I need like a paper bag to breathe into.
The Sixers, meantime, should have won that by double digits. They could not buy an outside shot.
Yeah, the Sixers are struggling, man. I don't, I thought it was close, though, but then the last 4 minutes of the game, they just kind of, they had it right there. And then it just went left on them for the last 4 minutes of the game. But then that's also goes into what Tatum turned up. So
yeah. By the way, the flip side of what you're talking about, really, what Jay is talking about, Key, is you're giving Tatum credit for persevering through the struggles. When Tatum started hitting those shots, the Sixers did not did not respond in kind. They it looked like they folded late.
Well, can we listen to Jason Tatum after the game, because I think the comment that he said gives you insight into the personality trait that makes him different.
Let's hear.
I'm one of the best basketball players in the world. Go through struggles, go through slumps. It's a long game. And, thankfully I got some great teammates that held it down. Brogdon, JB, Smart, Al. And they all trusted me, right? They tell me keep taking great looks. It's going to fall. Keep impacting the game in other ways. And all that mattered was we won this game, right? Give ourselves another chance, come back home, for Game 7.
I mean, he's damn right about that. Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, and Marcus Smart combined for 47 points, 15 rebounds, and 10 assists. I mean, they carried the squad in the first half. Jason Tatum was 1 of 10 in the first half, and he still had a 7-point lead going into halftime. So, look, shout out to Joe Mazzulla. Actually made in-game adjustments starting Al Horford and Robert Williams together, which allowed Robert Williams to kind of hawk the paint to make life difficult off P.J. Tucker. He was plus 18 last night. And by the way, Stacey, I'm giving you credit. You called in earlier this year talking about Joe Mazzulla not using his challenges the correct way. He used it the correct way in the fourth on the Al Horford block that they called a foul. They returned. They kind of rechanged the call. It was a critical call of the game. So Joe Mazzulla, Key, like you said, giving him credit, learning as he continues to progress in these playoffs.
Well, maybe it was simple as love, Jay. Maybe it was as simple as love. Joe Mazzulla, Celtics head coach, at the post-game press conference on his message to Tatum while Tatum was struggling.
tell him I love him.
That's it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty powerful statement.
So you think that had impact?
I do. Yeah.
So you'll tell him for Game 7 before the game?
Multiple times. Over and over again. And the rest of the team.
Max, I love you.
Pretty powerful stat.
Perform better, Max. I love you.
by the way, I like how – I wonder where does Jason Tatum get that from? Humbly, I'm one of the best players in the world. Coach got up there and said I told him I loved him. Pretty powerful statement, if I do say so myself. Let me reach around and pat myself on the back.
Keita, John Gruden never tell you he loves you?
All coaches say that, well, especially when you win.
I
love you, man. You're the greatest. I would never trade you for anything. You're my guy.
Now let me send an email to this other guy saying what I really think.
Huh? What?
I would love to see your face in that moment when that happened.
No, they all coaches. I mean, come on, Jay. You know how they go.
Yeah.
I remember one time we was playing the Seahawks and it just wasn't going as well as it wasn't going as well in the first half as you would have liked it to for us. And I was getting dog cussed by Bill. And we went in, I think we went into overtime, or maybe it was at the end of the game. So I caught a touchdown from Vinny, a bomb, took it off the safety's head, whatever. At the end of the game, we walking through the tunnel. Bill, I love you, man. You can play for me anytime. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, man. What about the last 3 quarters you was talking that mess?
Stop being sorry and he won't cuss you out. Meantime, it looked like even though the Celtics had a big lead early, they started feeding Embiid. He just seemed more involved, and all of a sudden the Sixers were up, and it felt like they were going to win to me. Right, they're at home. Embiid's starting to cook. He's at like maybe 20, 22 points. I'm like, this dude might mess around, get stupid hot here, wind up in the mid-30s, and the Sixers win by double digits. They really couldn't hit any shots. Right, like they did not continue to feed Embiid, and they weren't hitting anything from the outside.
I really gotta say this. I mean, this is gonna be. When things are going right for Philly, it's like a redeem story. You want the process to be complete. And Joel Embiid's nickname is the damn process. It's the process. He is the process. This man has finally won the MVP. He is the MVP of this league. How the hell does he not get his shot with 3 minutes and 56 seconds left to go in the game? Did not attempt a shot. Not one, Max. He's the MVP of the league. So a lot of that is on Joel Embiid because he needs to demand the ball and say, give me the ball. I know we're getting open looks, but when P.J. Tucker is getting open looks, there's reasons in this league why certain players get open looks. They're getting looks for a reason. So Doc Rivers, Glenn, needs to set up some plays.
You took Doc away?
In order for your MVP to get a shot.
You can't take back his PhD. You took back his PhD.
I'm not the one taking it back. That's
situations like this, Jay. In situations like this, the MVPs, like just like you said, but not even the MVP. Take the MVP away, but the leader of the team, the main focus, the guy of the team, has got to touch the ball. You're not going to win down the stretch in certain situations in sports if the main guy isn't touching the ball. If your main guy is batting in a situation where you have people on base and he's up, he's got to figure out how to hit the ball, not strike out, but how to hit the ball in play to advance the runner. In football, your main guy's got to touch the football. If he's a receiver, you got to throw him the damn ball. If he's a running back, you got to give it to him. You got to figure out a way to get him going. Same thing in basketball. Down the stretch, Kobe Bryant's going to touch the basketball. Michael Jordan's going to touch the basketball. LeBron James is going to wave everybody off. Steph Curry should touch the basketball, not Jordan Poole taking the shot. And in this case, Joel Embiid should touch the basketball.
And one of the reasons, like, when you think about who you really want on your team, even though the bigs, as I keep mentioning, the bigs pretty much have been in control of these series. In each series, the team with the best big until now, because they just tied it, the Celtics just tied it up, have been in control, right? But you can't get yourself the ball usually if you're a big, and that's one of the reasons Jokic right now might look like the best player in basketball because he can
Yeah, but
also
you can go to somebody
play point guard. He can
you can go to
create
the
his
guy
own
who
stuff,
has the
create
ball.
for
You can go to the
teammates.
guy who has the ball in his
Give
hands.
me the ball.
And say, yo, man, it's just timeout. Just right now, let's
For
figure
sure.
out how to draw this up.
Exactly. And that's the
We're
thing.
not doing
Everybody
anything
always
less.
says, well, Biggs, I can't get myself to rock. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. It's a more of a guard-dominated league, and that takes coaching, and we'll get into the schemes in a minute.
So
because the
is
schemes were not
no-
conducive for JaWill to get the ball on the block, but that takes JaWill in the huddle, be like, yo, James, all you beep, 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 give me the beep, beep ball. That's what it is.
What went wrong for the 76ers? Embiid and Doc had some thoughts after the game. You're going to hear them next. KJM, ESPN Radio.